Hello. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We're also being simulcasting on TikTok. We finally got in here. So let's go. I'm going to be talking about the 1,000-year or 297 years missing with it's funny. It's weird. So I'm going to bring up a whole lot of pros for it and a whole lot of dispute behind it. Of course, you're going to find a dispute behind it that's going to be called pure rubbish. But when you look at these buildings and these, timestamps when they create the cornerstones of these buildings, they say a J or they don't say nothing. And it starts with 600, 900. And the carbon dating of these buildings don't match the time that these buildings represent. So I also am on TikTok. I'm going to check to make sure because I have to. I gotta see the simulcast. I gotta just see if it's official. It doesn't say I'm live, but it will. Let me get out of things. I just gotta make sure. What's going on, guys? Can you guys see me on TikTok as well? Scrolls, Amber, Marlon Miller, update. All right, got it. Let me see it right now. Yeah, I'm live. I am live. Awesome. Yes. It's a little lag, but it's fine. I am. Good. I'm gonna keep it on my phone so I can look at the commentation as well. But I'm stoked, guys. Finally, we were able to do this, show you the podcast on TikTok as well. Because before you guys were just watching me, with the phone. And because Streamlabs, I guess, has a contract with TikTok, if you get a violation, they make you wait 30 days. So I do know the things that I can say on TikTok are way different than the things that I can say on YouTube. And that's crazy. That's crazy to even say out loud. But yeah, I'm here, man. Hit the likes, get it up here. I'm going to show y'all a lot of information. I'm not going to lie. Let me delete this behind me. But I got a whole bunch of stuff to show y'all. Of course, we're going to talk. And then later on, I am going to go to my seat and I'm going to show y'all videos. Some of them I showed today already, and there's some good ones. How y'all doing, though? Today is Friday, right? Is it Friday? Freaky Friday? How many of y'all getting freaky out there? I'll mess with you. I'm just trying to let people get up in here. UK Stoke, Trent. Hey, what's up, bro? UK? It's crazy to talk about the UK. I'm about to show you a building that you probably are very familiar with in the UK. We're going to discuss the 1,000 years or 297 years or however they say it. You know what I mean? They call this the truth behind the controversial phantom time hypothesis, which I find very interesting. They're trying to discredit us, guys. We're just asking questions. I've come to the fact or the perspective of World War I and World War II was a complete, this is my perspective here, and I'm not discrediting anything, any historian, anything. But I've come to the conclusion that World War I and definitely World War II were a false flag. And not for the intentions that has been told to us. I believe it was the last and the two final steps before the complete wiping away history of the Tartarian Empire. Straight up. Because around that time, didn't they destroy all the bells? Huh? And when you look at, Mustache Man and his claims of why he did what he did, it doesn't make sense. You just don't go from Time Magazine's Man of the Year, creating a bank, might I add, to psychotic, crazy, genocidal maniac. Who does that? And he was also Judean. What are we talking about? It just doesn't make sense. And then you have item after item after item after item. And it isn't just like one peculiar thing or two peculiar things. We're talking about dozens and upon dozens of lies upon lies. You know what the hardest thing to keep up is a lie, right? And they use, I'm not going to lie, they're messing with our DNA. What do you think all the stem cell research is? Allegedly, I have nothing to back that up. But hey, why mess with stem cells if it isn't for the intention of programming people? Make it make sense. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Good and chilling. Good. My guy. But yeah, we got 6 on YouTube right now. We got 11 on TikTok. It's gonna grow throughout the day. I'm gonna show y'all some things. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna get the show started. I want to wait a little bit. Preface: when people come in, of course, they're gonna ask what we're talking about. The chat flows better. What, on TikTok, Amber? Massive cover up, Jessica. Facts. It's a massive cover up. It really is. I wish I could add people on my TikTok one. Not gonna lie. I got to do it through Streamlabs. But let's get this started. All right, guys. Let's get it started. Let me take away this picture box. You guys don't need to see that. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to start with the first one. Today, I saw this building, right? This is, for those who have looked into the 1,000 years added to the calendar, this is an old church in Yorkshire, UK. It is a carving of a pattern in place of the one. Starting to believe more and more that 1,000 years have been added to our history. Can anyone work out what this pattern is? Now, I saw it. It looks like a kundalini. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a, you know, the chakras, the kundalini chakras. It almost looks like the caduceus. If you know, you know. I'm going to blow it up for y'all right here. We're going to zoom in, and I'm going to bring this thing over. Of course, so we can get a proper sight of this. Look at that. 630. Now, they try to say this right here, this area, that's not a 1, man. That's not a 1. That is the year 630. You guys make that make sense. Huh? What is that? It looks like they tried to add something to there, you know, but it isn't congruent with the shaping of the 6 or just the font of the numbers altogether. And this building is old as hell. But do you believe it is? See, do you think this is 400 years old? Huh? I do. I just don't believe it was built in the year 1600. I believe it was built in the year 600. Also, you see the pennies. You see all the old coinage they used to show us from that time and place. Their currency. Do you guys know that in the Bible, right? After the resurrection of Christ, it's supposed to be a 1,000-year reign. That's what your Bible says. A 1,000-year reign. And this makes sense. This makes sense, man. So I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, right? Say 1,000 years. And this is why people are getting like crazy, right? Jesus died at the age 33, right? So that's the year 33, right? So imagine if he had 1,000 years. We're technically still in Jesus's 1,000-year reign. If you're saying them 1,000 years is all faked, like the medieval times is faked, all that shit's faked, right? Say we're actually in the year 1025. That's what it would be. So in the year 1033 would be the end of Jesus' reign after his resurrection, because he was resurrected at the age 33, right? Are you guys with me? You with me? You with me? Do you believe this building is 1,630 years old, or do you believe it's 404 years old? 404 years old, because that's what that would be to us right now. Which one of y'all think? Let me get some love in the chat. Y'all think this is a 1,404 years old, or do you believe this is 400 years old? Because I'm not seeing 1,000 years on this building. I'm just keeping it real. Like, nah. Let's go to the next thing, man. There's a lot of shit, bro. There's a lot of things. Oh, look, now, see, this is where the phantom time hypothesis. 4,630. Marlon, you're bugging. You're bugging, bro. Show yourself, chat. 400? You think it's 400? Over 1,000. I agree. I agree, Jessica. The phantom time hypothesis claims that 297 years of history never happened. I'm claiming 1,000 years never happened. But let's get further into this exactly. What would happen if 2 empires and a pope and a pope decided to fast forward the calendar 300 years into the future? According to phantom time conspiracy theory, that's exactly what happened around 1,000 years ago in Europe. The starting hypothesis was put by German amateur historian Heiberg Illig in his 1996 book, The Invention of the Middle Ages. Facts. I believe it. I'm not going to lie. And you got to just add shit up, man. Like, I really believe World War I and World War II was to wipe away that technology. To, like they're trying to do now. I mean, they did it right to your face with airplanes hitting buildings. And have y'all ever gone through the engineering explanation of how that is physically impossible for a building of that height, of that steel, of that design, for a plane to hit it and then it to crumble like a controlled demolition? But let's continue on. They've been lying to our face for a long time. They still lying. They still lying. A sizable chunk of the Middle Ages never happened. Illig argues the Holy Roman Empire, Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and possibly Roman Empire Constantine VII conspired to make up 297 years of history. What would be the intention of that? Let's say that's true, right? What would be the intention of that? I can only think about Tartaria. They obviously didn't want something recorded in history where the public would gain knowledge of, damn near I say, slavery, capitalism, freedom. They didn't want them to know what their capabilities are. You know what I mean? Continue on. Including the reign of Charlemagne. Yo, when you guys hear these names, right, you think it's coincidence that we have people that are in prominent positions in our media with these names? Like Constantine, movies, Charlemagne the God. Like, I digress. The Viking raids on Europe and countless other historical events. In order to place Otto's rule in the 100-year CE, the main reason, that date was exactly 1,000 years after the birth of Christ. Although some scholars now believe Jesus was born closer to 4 BCE. Isn't it also crazy how they date BC, right? The closer you are to BC and AD, it goes 1, 2, 3, backwards. I find that interesting, but I'm going to come back to that later. I think they do that to confuse us, just like how they changed the way we read right to left to right. I mean, so far to the fact that we switched which ways we drive on the road. Do you know driving on the right side of the road will engineer your brain to operate more on the right? Little things like that. There's a lot of fuckery, bro. Oh, man. Illig supports his claim by pointing out discrepancies between the Julian and Gregorian calendars, facts, that could be explained by the fabricated dates. He also suggests that Otto III and Sylvester II ordered scribes to create manuscripts from the missing centuries. Historians, however, have offered considerable evidence that debunks the theory. And that's the problem. Let me say that. History, science is no different than religion. Tell me I'm lying. You're going off the word of things, even though you have eyes to see and ears to hear. You can feel, taste, touch. You have an actual sixth sense to feel when you're lying, being lied to. It's called discernment. I know I'm not alone in this. You know, like I say at the Cliff all the time, you ain't got to be a dope fiend to be a dope fiend. You don't. And I call Cliff out all the time on his dope fiend ass moves, and he calls me out. We're all addicts in a form of sense. But let me get back to what I'm saying. Y'all can sense when someone is lying to you. How many of y'all feel like we're always being lied to nowadays? Am I the only one on that? Am I alone? And I'm not talking about your parents or Christmas. It's society. Well, you can go that deep too. Everything's a goddamn lie, man. I mean, is there Santa Claus coming down your chimney? And I know when you found out the esoteric reasons behind, Santa, anagram for Satan, T-minus NASA, you start to see that there's a lot of evil in this world. There is. And why is it that people that question this type of stuff disappear? Go to prison for P3DO charges? Why? It's very interesting. Let's continue on, man. Not least of which that Illig's hypothesis ignores the development of other cultures around the world during those 300 years. Astronomical science offers additional proof that a royal and holy alliance didn't invent centuries of history, as astrophysics Brian Coberling writes in Forbes. Let me say this. If he's correct, right, why is the Tartarian Empire not in history? Huh? Why is the Tartarian Empire not in history? It's not. It's pseudoscience. Did y'all know that? The Tartarian Empire is not in history. And then they want to talk about evidence, right? When you look back in evidence, the old maps, the maps of the North Pole, which shows the 4 rivers of Euphrates and the Ganges and Eden, why these old maps got Tartaria on it, where Russia resides today? And when you look at Russia's, you really, really look at Russia's architecture, you think that's Russia? It's Tartarian. It is. It's the Russia, Soviet Union, USSR, whatever we want to label that. It's pure Tartarian. Hence why Putin has a lot of evidence to support Jesus Black and all this and la, la, la. And he's talking about exposing it. But no. He is part of the occult world. He's a puppet on a string, just like Trump's a puppet on a string, just like Netanyahu's a puppet on a string, but I think he's evil. But it's all puppets on strings. If this man's claim is lying, right? Why is Tartaria on these old-ass maps? Old as hell. But historians claim they never existed. Shit, historians don't even claim the World Fairs happened. Historians can't even give us a proper rationale to why every major city had a Great Fire. Rebuttal? Anyone? I continue on. Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Experts have proposed a simpler version of our model. No, that doesn't count. We're going to the next one. Let's go to the next one. What is the truth behind the controversial phantom time hypothesis? I went over a bunch of things on this, man. I did. I'm not going to lie. Because I know the internet's not going to tell us anything. This is something that you have to go back like in old books to find if they're still around. If they're still around, man, because the internet, I'm sorry, we're in the age of information. This internet will not tell you anything. It won't. I've looked for it. It's all based under theory. So you got to dissect and depict what you think is true and what you think is not. But I really do believe we are missing 1,000 years. I don't think it's 297, man. You know what I mean? Because you got the coins. Like, let me show you something before I get into this. Let me go. Like, when I searched all this stuff, let me exit. When I search this stuff up, there's a lot of Reddit posts on this. A lot of Reddit posts. This is Reddit. Well, look, Twilight, 1,000-year song missing. No. Like, saw evidence of 1,000-year official timeline. Here we go. Look at this. Read more. Your free trial is waiting. Man, people, I hate ads. The hell is this? This is interesting. Let me blow that up. Let's see if we can discover the truth together. You never know. Let me blow this up. See what this says. I'm interested. What is this? Reader with Fulham thought? What the hell is Fulham? No, I gotta read. I can't just read something and not know what it is. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta look that up. Am I alone? Am I alone in that? Let's see something real quick. Fulham, right? Maybe someone in the chat can tell me. Definition of Fulham. Definition. What the hell am I doing? Oh, Fulham. Right? Was that how it's spelled? How was it spelled again? Oh, yeah, F-O-L-E-M-N. F-O-L-E-M-N. The hell is Fulham? No, see? That's not even a word. Like, what the hell? It's got to be Solomon or Solomon, whatever. Yeah, that makes no sense. Somebody fucked up. Let me read it. Sorry for cursing, guys. Gotta be better. I do have to be better. All right. Reader with a solemn thought. It has to be solemn. It has to ask. Survey this grave and reflect on the ultimately death, untimely, can't even read properly, on the untimely death of thy fellow mortals. And while as a man, a Briton, look how they spelled Britain, and a patriot, thou readeth the melancholy narrative, drop a tear for the country's loaves. On the 29th day of August, see that? You see that, right? What is that? Is that the year 1782 or 782? And that J signifies Jesus's 1,000-year reign. You understand? What are we talking about? That's not a 1782. That's a J. That's after the resurrection of Christ, allegedly, the death, you know what I mean? He's supposed to, in the Bible, have a 1,000-year reign. And I've always said, I feel like we're in a post-apocalyptic era. I do. But hey, that's up for interpretation. You know, people take the Bible too literally and don't understand it's a code book. On the 29th day of August, year 782, which is the Jesus reign, His Majesty's ship, the Royal George, being on the heel of Spithead, overfed the funk, by which fatal accident about 900 persons were instantly, I think the F is an S. I see that now. Instantly launched into eternity, among whom was the brave and experienced officer Rear Admiral Keppenfelt. 9 days after, many bodies of the unfortunate floated, 35 of which were interred in one grave near the monument, which is erected by the Parish of Portsea, as a grateful tribute. Bro, there's a lot of documentation out there, man. Old documentation showing the year with a J before it. You know what I mean? A lot of documentation. That's why I'm going to go Reddit. If y'all don't use Reddit and only use TikTok, Reddit is a great tool, bro. You will find the craziest conspiracies on Reddit. You will find some of the craziest paranormal content on Reddit, right from people's phones. You know what I mean? Like, Reddit is a great source of information. It's better than Wikipedia. I'm going to keep it real. Wikipedia, if you don't know, is controlled by, y'all know who. Let's go. Let's try Reddit. Y'all are basically on internet and y'all watch me read stuff in real time. Y'all doing it together. I believe, you know, not everything should be presented, but should be discovered as a group. You know what I mean? Because then I'm also reading all y'all comments. Let me tell y'all that. And y'all will see me address you. But I've been, for the past couple days, I've been thinking about the 1,000 years, man. I'm not going to lie. So just work with me a little bit. Also, if you guys ever want to hear a topic or want me to talk about a topic or research a topic or you want to do it on together, message me that, comment that on my YouTube. Like, yo, bro, let's go over this. Say no more. It's just speculative. It's also for entertainment purposes. Don't take everything I say serious, but I just trying to provoke your thought. Please understand the intentions on why I do this. Just to provoke your thought. Because if we can get a whole bunch of people start thinking, imagine what would happen. I think we might even change, fuck that. I know we would change the frequency of this planet and the frequency of our outcome. But hey, that's pseudoscience, right? Let's continue on, man. That's interesting. That's a great find right there, man. And look how they got a Wikipedia for it already. I don't trust Wikipedia at all, guys. You got to respond, Dre. You got to respond. I am responding. Coons, what's up? We got 28 and 21. Bro, we're growing. Let's go. El Toro. I'm on TikTok as well, guys. Just to let y'all know. Join the Patreon. Support the boy. We're about to go. Shout out to all the people that already paid for the trip. Cannot wait to see you guys on June 26th. All the people that were all, you know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, they're going to hate themselves. They didn't go to this trip, bro. We're going to wild out. A proper way. You know what I mean? Network a proper way. Let's go back. Let's see what else they got. Again, it's all Reddit. Let's see what this one says. Hope it's another picture. Could the world completely forget magic 1,000 years? Hi, I'm currently fleshing out a story and I'm having trouble. I like this. See, this is another reason why I like Reddit. Because you can ask Reddit a question and people on Reddit will give you or send you direction on where to, you know, exactly what this message reads. I'll prove it. I'm having trouble with world building and the implications of magic. Long story short, in my world, there used to be an ancient empire, which was Tartarian, which was able to use powerful magic artifacts to conquer lands and develop their civilizations. Have y'all ever saw the video where this is actually off? This is cut off from the public, which I also believe why the Grand Canyon is cut off to the public and has military occupation. But I digress. There is a statue in one of the Great Pyramids of Giza, right? And when they take a picture of this statue, and I'm talking about a high performance camera here for a second. Some of y'all probably seen like the black, it's not an Anubis statue, but it's like that type of statue. A person was in front of it, like phasing. Like if y'all have ever seen The Flash, you know how you can be somewhere and phase in and out between walls? That's what it looked like. There was, and that person wasn't there in the picture. Plus, also, when you took a picture of this statue, the statue itself would phase. And the person who was in this room explaining how the camera glitched, or it shouldn't have glitched, how they felt an aura or frequency coming off this statue. How many of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about? It's on TikTok. I believe magic is real. It's our definition, magic. But I guarantee you there's a scientific explanation to how this shit works. And it isn't so mystic, but it is a cult. You know what a cult means? Hidden knowledge. That's it. Tell me if you think that's what a cult means. Go look up the definition. Hidden knowledge. That's a cult. I'm a cult like a motherfucker. But I believe that, man. I believe magic effects to conquer, which is being used against us today. I said this to Cliff too. Cliff's in the building. What's up, boy? For years of man, since man has existed, we've done one thing and one thing only: conquer. You think that shit stopped now? Huh? If it did, what's going on with Palestine? What's going on with Palestine? I digress. I digress. Middle name. What's up, brother? I love you, bro. You see what I'm doing? I'm going to go back in my seat, too, after I'm going to show some videos. I feel like we should talk about this more and more. That when I'm over here, I can, you know. What up, everyone? I'm at work. Yeah, he's at work. I bet. Yeah, 31 here, 20 at TikTok. Yeah, let's go. He said, I used to watch you on TikTok, but I quit with that Chinese app. Do you have X Twitter? I have YouTube. I do have a Twitter. I just don't like to use it. Funny story. Cliff said the same thing to me, right? And I opened up my Twitter and I told him why I don't like using Twitter, because my For You page is disgusting. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? I was a different person. And then when it was Twitter, of course, I still look at porno when I have to do it. But that's not what I don't like to indulge in that like now. I don't. Not saying I don't like titties, but I do. But it's like I don't want to see that stuff on social media. You know what I mean? If I want to go see that stuff, I will go to those sites. I don't need to see ass shaking. I don't need to see, like, fucking. That's what it is. I don't know how else to call it. Like, straight penetration on Instagram. I mean, shit, Instagram's getting there too. But on Twitter, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And if y'all know the power, I know this is off topic, but we are a spiritual channel at the same token. If y'all know the power of pornography, guys, it is very detrimental to your life. Very detrimental to your life. It literally, if you consume porn so much, right, it will change the chemical output of your brain. Like, most people that watch porn have a problem in relationships because the intimacy is gone. They don't know how to connect that way, nor will they have an issue getting up. And it's just, it's a very spiritual battle, believe it or not. It is. And now you see, there's this guy called Dr. Prison where he goes and, you know, he's on Instagram. He goes and he helps single mothers with badass children. And I wouldn't like to call children bad. I just like to call them misguided. You know what I mean? That's all they are. There's no such thing as a bad child. There's just an absence of love. And I identify with a lot of these children. And it's not, when I see him, I'm like, yeah, get on. I'm like, no, man, you need to talk to him. He needs to let some shit out. I understand the reason why they are attention seeking. But the reason why I bring this up is because whenever he goes through their tablets, and I'm talking about 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, boys, girls too, flooded with porn, bro. A 9-year-old, you know? And we were wild kids. We thought we were, how old I was when I saw my first porno? 13. Now I'm just saying, but 9, bro, you can't even use it, bro. Like, and I think about how that affected what I thought that was at that time, and it did affect me, It really did. So please, all my parents out there, be careful with y'all kids with tablets. Please be careful. Be careful with your children. Also with your credit card on there. Every time I seen a kid with the tablet or the phone, got the mom, dad credit card, running it up. Had like 4 or 5 cards that he stole. The numbers, took a picture of them, boom. So be mindful of that, man. Be very mindful. It's real out here. Sex is very spiritual. Intimacy is very spiritual. Like, it's literally the essence on how a man and woman have an unbreakable bond. And that has been taken away from our society with pornography. Y'all see what's happening with Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp is ruined. They just let him go. They let Shannon Sharp go. Had a $100 million contract, null and void. And of course, all these contracts have, morality clause out there. Of course, if you know, you know. And this is Disney. ESPN is Disney. He's done up. It's on Roblox too. Yes, it is. I had to monitor my son on Roblox. It's funny you said that. Roblox is disgusting, guys. It really is. And there's a lot of children that play Roblox, and these, ugh. But yeah, man, if y'all can get porn out your life, please do it, man. Please. If you're gonna watch it when it's that time. Don't just be watching it to watch it. Just remember, what you put into your body you will exude too. Please know that. It's a temple. It is. Yeah, I mean, what you put in your mind, how you learn, shit will affect you. And you are put on this planet to learn. You are put on this planet to evolve. You are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is not to work and go buy an Xbox. You are here to evolve and understand every type of purpose that there is in life. Not your purpose to go play NBA basketball, not your purpose to write symphonies. No, it is to understand the point of life, understand the gift it is, understand why things happen the way they do and how you can affect people. And there's a deeper explanation to that, man. There it is. But that's its own episode. That's its own 4 or 5 hour episode, honestly, if we ever got into that, which we should one of these days. But I don't want to bore people. That's for when people are ready for that. You know what I mean? Yes, love is one of, I believe life has certain gifts in life that can only be experienced with a man and woman together. All right? It's the only way. You can't experience these alone. When it comes like making love is a life gift that a lot of men do not experience. I'm sorry to say, women. Y'all might experience it better, but a lot of men do not experience that. There's a lot of 40-year-old virgins out here, bro, because of superficial societal pressures. Having a child is unexplainable. Unexplainable. I cannot put it into words, and y'all parents know exactly what I'm saying. Unexplainable. Let's continue on, man. I don't want to get too far off the topic. I'm trying to stick to the 1,000 years. But hey, man, sometimes you speak with his spirit. It is what it is. What's up, Dre? What's up? How you doing, sweetheart? Talk about the 1,000-year reign, man. Where'd it go? 1,000-year reign of Jesus Cristo. I'm new. Has Phantom Time already been discussed? See, Reddit, man. This was 9 years ago they were talking about this. This is a 10-year-old post. Look at that. 10-year-old post. I'm new. Has Phantom Time already been discussed? If so, please disregard. A coworker of mine recently told me that the Middle Ages were invented and that Charlemagne wasn't even real. Dude, he then made motions as if his head was exploding. I wrote a blog post about this, but practically nobody reads that thing. And then I found Bad History. Oh, that's a guy. Oh, that's him. And I thought you guys might appreciate it. Here is a post reformatted for Reddit. In the early 1900s, a few German... Pause real quick. how many of y'all believe Germany is probably part Tartarian? The reason I say that, isn't it funny how the evidence supports what I'm about to say, okay? Which country was bringing up UFOs before any other country? Which country went to Antarctica before any other country? Which country are we basically under pagan rule of majority of our holidays? Germany. Germanics. Sorry to ruin it for you guys. Santa Claus story is Germanic. Germanic. Majority of your holidays are Germanic. Valentine's Day, Germanic. It's all Germanic. Go ahead. Refute me on that. Does anyone think that's peculiar? Are we not, like, no one's ever brought up this, that maybe Germany is Tartarian as well? A subsection of them? I digress. Something to think about. Everything that we run on today is Germanic. Everything. Gregorian count. I can go on. I can go on and on and on in Germany, bro. It's interesting. And was Germany Here's a quick one, real quick. Let me ask this before I continue on. What race do you think the Tartarian Empire was? In today's terms. And I'm looking at the chat to people. What race do you believe the Germanic people, the Tartarian people were? The Russian people were? What race? Were they Spanish? Were they white? Were they black? What race do you think they were? European. I don't think so. I think they were South Pacific Asian. Southern Pacific Asian. And black. I really do. There's a lot. Hence why Europe was originally black. And then transformed and got taken over through... Again, the Queen of England was Muslim. That's all I'm going to say. So they were brown, original, but then that bloodline got taken. But that's a different video. That's a different video. Sleight of Hand brought this to my attention with facts, figures, and numbers, and he was right. And I did not know that. I had no idea. The more you know. They're black, absolutely, Marlon Miller, absolutely. But more like the San people, you know what I mean? Hence why they had this. I believe they had slanted eyes. The Tartar period. There's actually people called the Tartar people that live inside Russia. Do your research. Trying to tell you something. But let's continue on. That's right. All right. Let's see. Where was I? German historians came out with a radical new idea. It is known in the U.S. as phantom time or the invented Middle Ages. The proponents included Hans Ulrich Nemitz, who studied mathematics, engineering, aeronautics, and had an interest in history, as well as German New Medicine. Let me take a drink. Interesting. And Herbert Illig, who studied German and became known for his chronological criticism, in which he suggested the Egyptian history was off about 2,000 years. Paleolithic. What's wrong with me talking today? Damn, I can read, guys. I'm very well versed, but I'm sorry. Paleolithic cave paintings were much closer to our time, and then finally came to believe that 297 years had been erroneously inserted in the European timeline. Most of what they have written has not been translated into English, which makes it harder to research for someone here in the US. But this doesn't stop people from spreading the idea online and offline. Thank you for the ones who've been doing this before we were even aware. And every timeline has their people that are awake. You know what I mean? And please don't think I like those labels. I don't, but it just signifies for y'all to know what I'm talking about. This one man says 600 to 900 AD was fake. Obviously, the Tang Dynasty. I like this. Let me get to this. The Tang Dynasty, which is from 618 to 907, is a forgery created by German conmen. As in the Nera period, I don't know, the Islamic fucking Caliphate? I don't know what that is. But this man is maybe got some things to say. That was the first comment right here. Right here, right here. Boom, that comment. That's interesting though, man. Here we go. We got maybe. Here's a paper from a lecture. No, I don't want no lecture. I need more pictures. Let's go. Let's search this, guys. Let's search something. Let me get this out. What is this shit called again? The 1,000 missing years. Let's see. 1,000, because Reddit's probably got pictures. Pics. Let's go. Let's see what they got. Lost year. No, let's see. I can't do it here. You know what? This is what I'll do. Let's see what Google has. I said Reddit. Let's say picture. Picture evidence. Here we go. Namas. Oh, they won't do that, huh? Mr. Tartaria Reddit. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look through this, but I'm gonna do it with y'all. Fuck that. Let's see. Let me go to images. Hold on. Images. Let's go to image. Why'd that happen? That was weird. Nah, see, that's crazy. Google's disrespectful, man. Have y'all ever you see this picture? Let me see this. Oh, it won't let me. You see this one picture right here? This kid, do y'all know the story behind this? Riker Webb? I'm not gonna talk about that. That's just a crazy ass story, bro. Yeah, there's a toxology report saying that he wasn't actually the son of the kid that went missing in the woods for 3 days at the age of 4, 3. Something crazy. But damn, man, they won't do it. Look at all this. See, one image. 1,000 years of history in one image. That's diabolical. Who understands that picture? Look at that picture. Nobody can even process what you're saying. No, they can't. It just has them questioning. I'm glad you said that, Joshua Jones. They are. And listen, me talking about stuff like this makes people go seek themselves, because then they can make content. Right now, this is a hot topic. Believe it or not, what I'm talking about is a very hot topic. Very hot topic. I'm also going to show you a video from, what's the name of his channel? I can't even think about it, but you guys know who he is. When I go on my seat over there and I'm done on for here, when I'm another 10 minutes in, damn, I've been on here for 42 minutes already. Time's flying. I got a couple of videos I'm gonna show you from my chair. I'm not gonna lie. But that, y'all see that picture? That's diabolical. That's crazy. That's all the money in the Western civilizations, and they're raping the land of South America and Africa. That's depressing. But that's truth in plain sight, man. It really is. Let's see what else. 1,000 years of history in one image. That shit. Sometimes you have to give up on people, not because you don't, but because they don't. Damn! Got it. Damn. That was bars. That was bars. And I gotta get the name of this thing again. The Phantom Time Conspiracy. That's the name of it. Go back. Phantom Time. See, so look at all the stuff they got. You can tell I've been clicking a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? I gotta look at this stuff, man. And I don't trust Google. Let me tell you, I don't. And DuckDuckGo is no different than Google. There isn't. There's a couple real search engines, but whenever you search anything that's real important, please know like the first 10 are all usually ads or something. They really are. Phantom Time. Yo, real quick, because I just read the Pope. Who's been seeing the videos of the Pope that passed away? Am I the only one that's noticing these upside down crosses? Huh? Am I the only one that's getting the the evil is starting to expose itself? And it's telling you to your face. And I can't believe all these Christians still live by their blood. This is how powerful dogma is. Very powerful. You got Christians who are seeing this shit right to their face. Right to their face. They even got movies telling you it's fake with historical evidence, right? Like, how's Jesus going to be your savior when the same story that Jesus had happened 13 times? 13! He's the 13th one. The 13th one born of a virgin. The 13th one who had risen from the dead. The 13th one who turned water into wine. The 13th one who walked on water. The 13th one. Huh? And then they give you the name of, 6, I'm glad you wrote that. They give you the number of the evil, and it's us. That we're told that we're evil. We are 666, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons. The number of man. That's what it says in the Bible. And you will know him by the number of man, which is 666. And they give you a book that they've slimmed down and called it canonized text, apocrypha text, that they removed to exactly 66 books. Woo! I love being aware, bro. I love being aware. I am not afraid of death. Sometimes I get these comments on my pictures, right? They say this all the time. I hope you are safe from the fire. I said, bro, there ain't no fires outside. What are you talking about? And I know what he's meaning. He's trying to say hell. You know what I mean? And I get him all the time. I'm like, bro, I'm very safe, man. And there's nothing you're going to be able to say to get people to get out their dogma. It has to be realized. No matter what you say, you could show them the truth, and they could see it, they could understand and know it, and they will still lean on dogma. That's how powerful that book is. That book, listen, that book has so much truth in it, though. I'm not gonna lie. The Bible has tons of truth in it. It's misinterpreted. Totally, 1,000% misinterpreted. It's disgusting. And I believe one day we will be told the proper way publicly. But I always say this, say for instance, heaven and hell is real, right? And say for instance, right, the devil did crash down here and, we'll go to hell, but not the devil. Nah, he gets to rule earth. Right? Do you think the road to prosperity, right, would be so readily available in a world ran by Satan? To y'all that naive? And I'm not talking to my chat. I'm talking to the consumer of my content. Do you think the road to prosperity, which is heaven, kingdom, soul of man's temple, do you think the road to prosperity would be given to you, or do you think you would have to discover that? Just a real question. Why are you here? How many, even my real ones on here, even my woke people, how many times have you guys questioned your own existence? Before we even get further into this 1,000 years, how many of y'all have actually questioned your own existence? I do it daily. Now I can't say daily, but I do it weekly. I do it. Like, why, man? Me and Cliff talk about this all the time. Why, man? Do you question your own existence? Do you think you were put here to go to work? Do you think you were here to get savings, but you die? Can't take none of that shit with you. Nothing. Not a damn thing you can take. You can't even take your body with you. You understand? You can't even take this clothes. You can't take your avatar with you. So what are we working for again? Wait till that epiphany happens on a global scale, which it will, which I also and what I'm about to say is only through hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics have shown us what's going to happen to us as a civilization, as a nation. They have many times. They even show us the technology that we replicated. They showed a cell phone in hieroglyphics that we use today. I think a cell phone was made 25 times over and over and over, reset over, reset. I think we are getting close to the end towards a reset, towards a cycle, right? In hieroglyphics, I can't even say the damn word properly. Y'all know what I'm saying, right? There's an interpretation repetitively of, I said this already, and I'm not saying I believe in aliens. I believe we're the aliens, that are sky people, aliens, whatever. It could be us, same form, look like us, not no fucking gray. I'm talking about us, but in the sky with higher technology, all that. Maybe from the future, I don't know, but it's repetitive. Every hieroglyphic shows something coming down and teaching the people. Hence why also you see these old Christian paintings. Let me go to that. Let's go to this. Old Catholic paintings. We're gonna dive into everything. Shit, like that. Old. Can't hit L? What is wrong with me? Oh, sorry, guys. Aliens. Old Catholic paintings of aliens. Let me just probably aliens. Aliens. Come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is that? What is that? What is this? Come on, man. What is that? What? Huh? What is this? What? People think the moon is a machine. What is that? What's in the sun? The Son of God. If the Son of God, if the sun is God, what's that make the moon, people? Huh? Duality, right? Right? If the sun is God, right? Because we get all our, and there is no life without that thing. There is no life without the sun. If the sun is God, what's that make the moon? Huh? Something to ask. But what are these ships? What are they? It's a very interesting question, man. Why is it over and over repetitively? Like what's this? What's that? What is that? I said that already. Look at this shit. This is undeniable, bro. I don't like. Oh, they went too far. Why'd they do that to me? They're trying to play with me. They're trying to play with me. Wait. Do you see a UFO? Yeah, where is it? Is there a UFO in the Renaissance painting? See historic artwork? This isn't even the picture I picked. Here we go. This is diabolical. What? Tell me, is that clouds? Are those clouds? Water too. That's right. Absolutely. Water is widely misrepresented, though. We don't even need water to live. And I'll get into that. It's not water we need. We hydrate improperly, but I'll get into that later. Look at that. What is that? You think that's clouds? You know what I mean? Sky people. Even in our Bible, sky people coming down. It's in Egyptian hieroglyphics to advance civilization. Do you think as a society or as a civilization, we're being advanced right now, or are we being hindered? Are we being held back? That's a good question to ask. Make it make sense. Make that make sense? You think that's clouds? Who draws? Look at this beautiful painting. Look at this. Look at that. Like, look at this right here. People are on point, right? But these clouds are, you got, right? Artistry. Then you got blah. You think that's not on purpose? These people are diabolical. I'm just saying, man, stay woke, bro. There's many things, bro. Many fucking things. Many things. What else? They got more, bro. Also, look, I have to show you this. You see this right here? Right? This is a good one, too. Jesus of Nazareth. Look, the sun. Guys ever question why the sun is always so prominent behind their heads? Yeah. Like, let's look at old Catholic paintings real quick, right? We go back one. There we go. No. One more. It won't let me. Oh, let me get all. Let me just do. Oh, yeah, I got aliens. Hold on. Old Catholic paintings, right? What do y'all see that's always behind God, allegedly, in these paintings? What do you constantly see? The sun, right? Look, that's a sun. That's a sun. Look at this. What do you think this symbolizes behind his head? What do you think this symbolizes behind that child's head right there? The sun, right? Right? All these depictions of the sun everywhere. I don't see the moon. I do not see no moon. Look, sun. It's always the sun. Are we misrepresenting or misinterpreting the Bible, guys? Huh? Are we? Something. And y'all know this. Y'all are not new to this. This isn't nobody. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking. The hydrogen in H2O. Facts, Joshua. H3O is what you need, though. Yeah, I mean, go drink some freaking fruit juice. Well, hell yeah. Let's get back to our 1,000-year reign. Where am I at? Damn, I've been on free. Have y'all been on here for a while? You know what? I'm about to switch cabs. About to. Boom. Here we go. Let me go to this real quick, then I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. I'm gonna show y'all some videos. Y'all on TikTok. Y'all glad y'all finally got the podcast on TikTok? Yeah. Stay up. I gotta get y'all, anybody that knows some things, got some information. I'm trying to interview people too. But while Cliff's not here, I can really interview a lot of people, man. If y'all got something to say, I'm first going to talk to you so I can know where you are at, make it an entertaining interview. But yeah, I would love to go through a little, what's it called? Interview. You know? Give me your application. Contrary to what you might believe, you are actually living in the 21st century instead of you're in the 1700s. And the reason that most of you don't recognize this fact is that the elites of the early medieval period worked hard to deceive you. At least that's what German historian, and we know who that is, puts forward in his phantom time hypothesis. This is outrageous claim that all historians had made a mistake and that we're all had the wool pulled over our eyes. Let me ask y'all this question, right? If historians are taught a specific history and that's all they've been taught, right? Does it make them right in what they're saying over someone who's discovered an alternative history? What makes the person who's a historian more correct over the speculator? Nothing. Because nobody can time travel, allegedly. So we have to go off of societal persuasion to get a victory in a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a crowd herd mentality type thing. This is why new ideas like this, they don't like. Imagine if the whole world believed this instead of a man being a woman and a woman being a man. Ha, now you understand. Now you understand it is far left shit or far right shit. They're both the same. That's the point. If they can keep distracting us, right? And I'm going to keep it real. This is part distraction when I'm telling y'all, but it's not, because I'm not distracting you to be a detriment to you. I'm distracting you to wake others up. And there is more validity to that than what the opposing side is doing. Everything's a distraction, but how many people can say you what they're distracting you from? This is part of it. Not the 1,000-year reign, but the herd collective conscious mentality. That thing they're trying to keep you distracted from. I've not heard one woke person, awake person, ever say that. You always say, oh, they're distracting you, they're distracting. What are they distracting you from? Tell me, since they're distracting. What's the distraction? What's the object of distraction? Collective consciousness, obviously. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. That's the distraction. Not what's happening in Congress. Not no bill that's being signed. Keep searching, brother. You got a lot of waking up to do. I still got a lot of waking up to do. I'm not even at the tip of the iceberg, and some people might think I'm more advanced than them, but no, I'm a baby out here. I keep telling y'all, the deeper you go, the more you realize you don't know nothing. As much as I know, I don't know a damn thing. I really don't. I'm a child. I can't even get it on my own right now. From an informational, spiritual aspect. Hell no. I got a long way to go, man. Long way to go. I'm just, a student posing to be a teacher. And we all going to grow together. Please ask your people, though, that question. Ask your favorite, your truther on here. Ask your favorite truther on here. As soon as they say distracting you, listen to what they say they're distracting. Ask, like, well, what are they distracting you from? What is the distraction from? If they don't say what I just said, you know who they are. And that's nothing. You should educate them. Like, yo, bro, you got a lot of seeking to do, but keep making content. You know, and this isn't to hinder nobody from making contact. Nah. This is to help people get aligned. Yo, thank y'all for the gifts, boy. Damn, what? Okay, represent. Absolutely. I will also be on tomorrow doing this exact same thing, probably different topic. I don't know yet. I'm going to think. But thank you for the gift. Thanks for the galaxy, bro. What? Oh, man. If I get enough galaxies, I can send my baby mom some money. I love y'all, man. It's the point in, let me read this. I am 1134. It's the point in which consciousness assembles with a glow of awareness. I like that. That's That's what you think. The pictures of suns, right? I like that. I like that interpretation a lot. I'm not going to lie. That is beautiful, man. That is a great. This is why I love my chat. Shout out to the 25 people that are in YouTube. Shout out to the 35 that are on TikTok. Let's go. I need y'all, man. Soon this is going to be 100, 200. We're going to get the word out, bro. Because we're going to talk about real shit. Straight up. So I'm going to get y'all on here. It's over. Y'all really sent me a galaxy in a picture. Whoever sent that, man. Who sent that? Baby Dre. I don't even know who sent that. Like, man. I love y'all, man. I really do. But seriously, let me get back to my point. Whoever says distraction again, please question them, man. Question them, man, because the whole point isn't to say you know more than them. The whole point is to get us under one understanding. And that isn't somebody's understandings. That's all of our understandings. You know what I mean? I don't want you to think what I think, but I want you to understand what I understand. Does that make sense? Did I put that properly? I don't want you to think how I think. I want you to understand what I understand. Does that make sense? That's a bar. That's a bar. Damn. So yes, we need to start understanding that this is the reason why I make content. This is my dream. This is my goal. If we all got together, just in our thinking, I'm not talking about physically, you know, I'm not talking about not monetarily, not financially. I'm talking about mentally. They're done. They're done. We've won. And the war would have been ended before it started. They're done. Just if we all thought the same. Do you understand how powerful that is? Can you understand what I'm saying right now? It sounds crazy, right? It sounds like, oh, I had a dream, you know, being, I don't know, emphatically nice or what. I don't even know. I can't even think of it. I'm telling you, for some reason I got a EUPH word in my head. I can't even say it. But you know what I'm saying? That's a bar. We have to get people. Damn, another galaxy. Who sent that? It doesn't show me who sent it. Flux, my guy. Flux, my guy. Yo, Flux. Yo, he get it. He galaxy me up, bro. My boy galaxying me up. That's 3 galaxies. That's like $15, bro. That's for real. Euphoric. Yeah, I like this. A good word, bro. What up, HTT Watch? Shout out my guy. You know what I mean? The people, I know there's some people in here. You guys got to get the money in. I know some of y'all waiting to the first. That's fine. We got a couple people paid. I'm ready. Sammy's paid. Dylan's paid. Patrick's paid. Chris, I know. Don't worry. I know when you're paying. I got to call Shenanigans. I got to call Angela. And I got to call Tommy. That's my major 4 I need more than anything. You know what I mean? Jeremiah, of course. Parker. I don't think Parker's coming. So there is a spot open. Let me just say that because Parker said he had to get out. I got to make sure of that. If anybody, we're all going to the, if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, we all have a planned trip to the Smoky Mountains National Park, which I will when I get there for 4 days from the 26th to the 29th. It's $130. Payment has to be in before this month. I mean, the month to the first, but we really have the whole first week of May. But the money has to be in. The whole total deposit was $2,500. Cliff and Stacy have paid already $1,250, and we're waiting for the other $130 from all the people to pay the other half. So we've invested all right. I'm sorry, not me. Stacy, shout out to Stacy. Stacy has invested $1,250 already just to meet y'all, man. And this is real. People that paid the money have already got the trip. $130, man. That's it. Yes. No. If it's a couple of y'all, just $130, man. We're not doing nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean, we got a couple couples coming, but we're good. Yeah. $130, man. And I'll talk to Stacy, make sure it ain't gonna be like, it'll be like 200. It ain't gonna be nothing crazy like that, Amanda. You married, Amanda? Can you come? I've never seen you. I don't think I have. Oh, yeah, I have. I'm bugging. I have seen you before. Yeah, listen. Yes, message me. Here, I'll follow you now. After this, message me. Because Parker just got out. I followed you. I requested. But yeah, we're all going. It's Great Smoky Mountains. It's a Thursday to a Sunday. Thursday night, we're going. Of course, It pays for the whole thing. $130 for 4 days at a place that's privatized. It's a 5-story house. Has a pool table, has a pool, has tennis, basketball courts. Like, we're going to kick it. Kitchen, beautiful. 5 floors, man. 5 floors. Gangster, 4 floors, whatever. It's still gangster. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I can't wait. Friday night, on the spiritual side, you guys know what? If you know what we're going to do, you know what we're going to do. You don't have to partake in that, but we're going to try to do that as a group. If you know, you know. It's the Great Smoky Mountains. You can look on that on the internet, Amber. It's going to be awesome. And it's around like-minded people, right? You know what I mean? Networking. And you guys are all going to be on the podcast. All of you guys. Every single one. If you don't want to be, you don't have to be. But I'm saying the availability of you wanting to, like say when we do at night, absolutely. Absolutely. I will interview you guys. And of course, we're going to take pictures with getting there. I'm going to do a lot, bro. It's going to be, I'm excited. I need this. Cliff needs this. Stacy needs this. Kimmy needs this. Kimmy just had her house burned down. You know what I mean? My boy Dylan needs this. I've never met Dylan. This is the first time I meet my boy Dylan. I'm more excited to see that man more than anything. I'm not going to lie. My boy Chris is coming. Parker, Shenanigans, Boogie, Dylan, Jeremiah, Sammy, Tom. Coach Tommy will be there as well. So, yeah. Yes, we all need this. So, Amber, please, when I get off of here, message me. I followed you. Follow me back. Just got here. Where we going? We're going to a whole other places, man. You know? All right. I'm going to now, because I've been on here for 1 hour and 6 minutes. God damn. Y'all liking this, man? Y'all like when I do this? I'm going to switch mics. I'm going to now bring my mouse over there. I'm not going to lie. And I got some shit for y'all. I'm going to show y'all some videos we're going to further talk about. Let me go. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to start the first video. That's all I'm going to say. And hear what y'all going to say about this.
WikiLeaks.
Oh, no. I showed this already. No, I didn't.
WikiLeaks.
Come on. Why is it doing it? Now, yeah. Here we go. This is the video. The Impossible channel. You ready? Listen to what he says.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He comes up to me and he says, James, do you really think that we're in 2025, the year 2025? I'm like, of course, why not? And then we go into this very long discussion on how history as we know it might have been altered in some way, possibly even erased.
As you can see, it's absolutely massive, and it was discovered just by chance.
But as I went deeper into this topic, I found out that there's so much more to it than I would ever imagine.
Right.
History, as we know it, was stretched, altered, 1,000 years added.
I came across this bizarre rabbit hole of a woman who states that we're not in 2025 and how there's even a declassified document which states that history has been rewritten. So I'm thinking, why would history be rewritten? And as I went deeper into this rabbit hole, I found this bizarre connection to the Mandela effect.
I'm tweaking out.
The possible existence of giants
And dragons.
and the possible cover-up of an advanced civilization that was wiped out not too long ago.
This has got to be the most unbelievable archaeological find ever made. And to this day, there are still no records of who built this or how.
They've kept this hidden from you. The Great Wall of China isn't just a wall, it's a warning. It was to contain.
And how this all connects to what's happening right now. And as far-fetched as it sounds, this is wild. So let's start with the basic. So it all starts with this video posted by Emma 1 week ago. She says, we discussed the possibility that 1,000 years were fabricated.
The timeline was altered. What else was rewritten? The year was 561, before the war for Tartaria. But history, as we know it, was stretched, altered, 1,000 years
love you,
added,
Amanda.
obscuring the truth. A civilization erased, a war forgotten. One piece of evidence remains, a painting of the 1561 celestial battle over Nuremberg. Witnesses describe strange
Celestial
flying
battle?
objects, explosions in the sky. Was this the final battle of Tartaria?
So she's talking about the painting of these orbs, alien orbs over Nuremberg.
Nothing new
And how
under the
there's
sun.
a bunch of evidence that people saw these alien-like objects in the sky in 1561.
Was this the final battle of Tartaria? A war fought not just on Earth, but above it. If history was rewritten, what was the world before the reset?
Right.
And why did they let this one image survive?
Right.
If 1,000 years were fabricated, then what era are we truly living in? The year was 561, before the War for Tartaria. Did this war rewrite time itself? Was a once thriving civilization erased, its technology confiscated, its legacy buried under false years? If they added 1,000 years, then who were we before the reset?
So it's funny how whatever she's talking about reminds me of this precise moment that we're living right now with the drones and the orbs, AI technology, quantum computing.
Right,
We are at
right.
the brink of a new era. But at the same time, a lot of people feel as if we could be facing a
new
huge
reset,
downfall.
a new
just like what
reset.
supposedly happened to this mysterious Tartarian empire that supposedly never existed. Just like the Mandela effect, you remember things that supposedly never existed. It's as if there was a huge shift in time or history was indeed erased. But the question is, why?
One of the most iconic songs by the band Queen is We Are the Champions.
Facts!
But does anybody
Of the
remember how that song
world!
ends?
Of the
Because I
world!
remember the very last line of the song being We Are the Champions of the world.
Yep. Of
Except
the world.
that's not how the song ends.
That's bullshit.
So if you remember of the world, that means you probably jumped out of the same parallel reality that
it's not
I
parallel
did.
reality.
So before we go into all of this, let's first find out more about the Tartarian Empire that supposedly never existed, and if there's any evidence to support this wild claim. So the first thing I found was this video that explains quite well what the Tartarian Empire theory is, posted by the Emerald Stories in 2024.
They've been hiding the true answer to this question from us. Why are these doors and windows halfway in the ground?
Message.
During the early 19th century, strange events were reported worldwide. Cities were being dug out from layers of mud and debris. Buildings were being revealed that were covered to their rooftops in mud. A global cataclysmic event buried entire civilizations, erasing them from history. But here is where it gets rather unsettling. The Tartarian Empire, an empire often depicted in old maps, was an advanced civilization that existed across Europe and Asia. They built architectural marvels, had access to advanced technology, and were able to harness energy from the atmos. The mud flood, many say, was a deliberate attempt to wipe out Tartaria from history, hiding their advanced technology and knowledge. But it gets even darker. Look at the world's fairs of the late 1800s
Right.
and
We
early
talked about this
1900s.
too.
Okay, I heard about that.
Buildings resembling ancient architecture were supposedly built in just a few years.
Right.
After the fairs, they were supposedly demolished. Was this to erase evidence of an advanced pre-existing civilization?
Exactly.
The Chicago World Fair in 1893, the Paris Exposition in 1900, and the St.
All-
Louis
all
World Fair
fires.
in 1904.
Every
These
city.
events showcased magnificent architecture, and on official papers they were apparently built with plaster and wood. The sudden disappearance of these architectural marvels raises the question, were they remnants of the Tartarian Empire, conveniently disguised as temporary exhibits and then destroyed to hide their origins?
One interesting thing about this theory is the pyramids. How
Right.
is it that the Egyptians, the Mayans, and the Incas, and
All
many
over the
other
world.
civilizations thought the same thing? Let's
Right.
all build pyramids.
I think
It's
time
as if there
travel.
was a
I'm not gonna lie.
unified civilization, and the story that is told
And they
is
tried to
very
destroy it.
different.
So this is a map of pyramids all around the world, all allegedly built independently of each other and all having identical structures that follow this similar step pattern. Why are our 21st century brains not capable of doing what dozens of ancient civilizations have
Great
repeatedly been
question.
able to do? Because the sunken Yonaguni monument, a supposed 10,000 years old, older than even the Egyptian pyramids,
Facts.
all with a nearly identical look, yet built by completely different
10,000
cultures with
years
zero
old,
contact
people?
among each other and thousands of kilometers apart. But this is
10,000.
just the tip. We got way more lesser known pyramids, even older than the Egyptian ones, that ain't even standing anymore. Like the Gunung Padang temple in Indonesia. Doesn't look so hot now, but used to be a step pyramid a whole 9,000 years ago. At least that's what they thought, until a more recent radiocarbon analysis shows that the lower parts of this temple go as far back as 28,000 years.
So let's just say that back in the 1800s there was advanced technology that was wiped out. Nikola Tesla type technology. Could it be that there's any evidence of that? I did find some things I'll show you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah, look at this. I wanted to show this, but this video showed everything. That
Following the
temple
introduction of
is emitting
modifications,
light.
which had been indicated by the results of full-scale tunnel testing of the Avro car,
Anti-gravity. Off the magnetism of our
Before
Earth.
that, is it possible that this advanced technology
Decoupling.
came from previous civilizations?
Yes, 1,000%.
En el Museo Egipcio y es impresionante que esta pieza pasa completamente desapercibida. Parece una pieza de ingeniería, la llaman el disco de Sabu, pero esta pieza de esquisto es una maravilla de la ingeniería antigua. fue encontrada en una de las primeras tumbas en Saqqara, pasa completamente desapercibido. Fíjense que el museo está lleno y nadie repara en esta pieza. Miren lo que es. Miren lo que es esta pieza.
Weird stuff that happens around the Sekhmet statue in Egypt.
Facts. Look. This is what I was talking about. Watch
weird
this.
anomalies that
Watch
happened
this
when
shit.
I visited
Makes no sense.
an out-of-bounds statue in Egypt.
So get this.
Oh, they
this
better-
woman,
look,
Funny
look.
Old World, she went to Egypt in 2023 to
Funny
visit
Old
this
World on
statue
TikTok.
over here, the Sekhmet statue, which is off limits. She has to pay a huge amount of money to check this statue out. When she did, this happened.
So where was I? This is a professional photograph done by a photographer who had his camera that he's had since he was 16 years old.
It's like he's
And his
phasing,
camera is particularly
right?
good at taking very clear photos in low light conditions. He absolutely freaked out when he discovered that he could not focus his camera on this statue. For reference, here is a photo taken in another similar chamber with similar lighting. Same camera in the same temple complex. Similar lighting.
Look how good that
thing.
camera is.
This is the kind of photo that you should be able to
that
take.
shouldn't be doing
now,
that.
for reference, this is a straight-on photo of Sekhmet, right? Here it is. Here she is. It's very, very low light.
Thank you,
The
Flux.
only light source is a tiny hole in the temple ceiling, which gives us a little bit of sunlight. This photo was taken this week on the most recent tour.
Look at
also
that.
taken by a professional photographer with his camera.
That's an alien,
now,
bro.
at first,
That's
I
an
didn't
alien.
notice anything wrong with this photo, right? It's just a person who's walking in front of a statue and it's got a bit blurry. Except that's not a person.
He wasn't there.
The man took a photo of the statue with nobody in the room.
This statue gives me the vibes that,
I believe
first
it.
of all, it's
I
not
believe
human.
exactly what she's saying.
It looks like an alien. Then the man can't seem to take a picture of it. It
I
seems
believe
to be
it.
interfering with the camera. And then this thing, it's not a person, it's too close to the statue. You can't be
It's
that
me.
close.
Unhappy alien.
It's not
me.
allowed. Ancient technology hidden in plain sight or
Right,
what?
right.
So going back to the mud flood theory, the Tartarian Empire, the Mandela effect, and a possible timeline shift, I found out that there's possible evidence of the existence of this Tartarian Empire, even though it officially never existed.
Officially.
Very similar to what
not.
happens with the Mandela effect.
Make that make sense.
This is what I found.
So my kiddo found this at a thrift store. He's really into geography
Right,
and
look.
cartography. So this was a neat find. And as we looked at it, and we got over here, Europe, Africa,
Tartaria.
Boom. So yeah, hidden in plain sight for sure.
Facts.
Interesting how there's a bunch of maps that still
Bunch of
portray
maps.
Tartaria
Right.
as an empire, even though it never existed.
Never existed
And I
historically.
found this video coming in from this Twitter
Crazy.
account.
And then you got World War I and World War
He
II.
says, when leveling
All
land,
the bells.
look at what was under the ground. Unknown
Germanic.
location. So you can see there are a bunch of pillars. But is there any more evidence? While looking for more evidence of this mud flood, I found this place that was uncovered in China,
Right.
which apparently was an infinite source of water.
Listen to
Take a
that.
look.
This has got to be the most unbelievable archaeological find ever made. And to this day, there are still no records of who built this or how. It was found near a village along the Q River of eastern China, a quaint little farming town with beautiful rolling hills. One of the mountains in the region was home to a series of very interesting rectangular shaped ponds that were unlike any other in the country. For as long as anyone in the village
We
could
gotta
remember,
go
these
to the
ponds
ice
supplied
wall.
them with water for ages. Generations upon generations would use the ponds as a fresh water supply, and they would never run dry or even recede over time. They almost seem to be a source of infinite water.
Infinite water.
They pumped
That's
it.
interesting. But where is this place?
After 5 days of non-stop pumping, the water level had only dropped a couple feet, but they made their first earth-shattering discovery. Just below the surface of the water, on the far side of the pond, they see a set of stairs going down into the bottom of the pond. This was clearly huge. Excited, they got 4 more water pumps and rallied a few more villagers to help their cause and continued pumping non-stop for 17 more days. And they did it. They drained the entire pond, and what they found shocked not only the village, but the entire world as well. They were looking directly into an ancient man-made subterranean complex that completely defied their entire understanding of history. These are the Long U Caves, crafted with perfectly flat floors, enormous rooms, grand pillars, and even intricate art carved into its walls. The entire excavation revealed 24 caves in a massive underground network, 14 of which were collapsed, but the 10 that stood were just unexplainable.
Interesting. So the Long U Caves in China, no one knows who or what built this thing, why, And when? Nothing. Nada. Let's take a look at this.
Is this, as far as I know, this cave was discovered in, like 221 BC. There's really no history or record showing anything about this place. As you can see, it's absolutely massive, and it was discovered just by chance.
So I'm thinking 24 caves perfectly carved out of stone. No one knows when. Very ancient. Could it be that this thing wasn't a cave? Could it be that this is a structure and it's actually mud flooded?
I really hope you guys can get a sense of just how massive these caves are. So guys, if you notice, even some of these carvings on the pillars, like this one right here, it's a dragon, and its head is going down into the ground. So it's entirely possible that we are still standing on further unexcavated parts of this cave. This could actually go even deeper.
So this is getting interesting. So there is evidence of a sedimentary layer that happened and covered things thousands of years ago, but not in the 1800s. So let's keep digging and see what we find. Posted to Reddit an alternative history
Reddit,
2 years
boy,
ago.
Reddit.
Ancient stump in 1918
Reddit got
coal
it all.
mine. Look at that.
Reddit,
It
man.
doesn't make any sense. How is it that a tree was cut in half inside of a coal mine?
Facts.
That doesn't happen naturally.
Guys, the name of his channel, and he's more into like anomalies, paranormal content. It's called the Impossible Channel. Some of y'all know exactly who that guy is. Bro, like I said, it kind of makes sense. World War I now, right? And I always thought it was a corporate hostile takeover. And to this day, I still believe it's a corporate hostile takeover with a hidden agenda. With a hidden agenda. Then you got to start adding into the facts of, in 1915, 6 million Semitics were unalived. But they weren't even under attack then. The World War II didn't happen, and A.H. Mustache Man didn't start his trek until 1942 or something, 43. So why in 1915 did 6 million Semitics be unalived? I think they rushed that post. So I'm not, listen, unaliving people, I have to say this because of you know why. Genocide is horrible, and the people that have been unalived, if they were, should be remembered, and we should remember that so we do not repeat it. But when you go back and look at that stuff, it doesn't make sense. You know what does make sense? They were hiding something. Tell me I'm bugging. Tell me I'm bugging. Let's continue on with another video, guys. That video was long, but tell me that wasn't a very informational video. And this, again, if you missed this, for anyone who's just getting on, we talked about a lot. We showed a lot of pictures. This is on my YouTube with my link in the bio on my TikTok. Go to YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch this whole video. I think we're going on 2 hours, which is nuts. No. Oh, I will show that, but here we go. That I can't wait to show you.
Magnetic levitation.
Look at this.
Maglev. This past civilization knew how to harness the energy of Earth. These magnetic ironclad roadways were laid out all over the world in a buried.
Somebody lying, guys. Somebody lying.
The Dinosphere monowheel, built specifically for this magnetic levitation. In the 1869 unicycle was referred to as the Flying Yankee Velocipede. All of it was hidden from our civilization. Hidden within these gas-powered exhibitions was the true technology. You just can't fool all of the people, all of the time. Magnetic levitation.
Now, a lot of naysayers, right? And I'm going to answer the question that they're thinking. Why would they lie about something like that? Why would they hold back free energy, right? Why? Why would they do that? Because we couldn't be controlled. They couldn't monetize off us. Remember, when you got, say money, right? When you got so much money, you get bored. There's a lot of miserable rich people out there, and then they become evil. What's the first thing they go to? Power. And y'all know what I'm saying. I got to be careful because I'm not trying to get no guidelines. They want power, right? And I'm talking about the elite. And listen, I understand that we are in a world where they're feeding off of us, but let me just keep that in the back of the head right now, you guys. I understand what's going on here, but I'm just trying to get to the people that want me to explain why they would lie. All right. Later on, we'll get to the point where they're eating us. Right now, we're talking about 1,000 missing years. If you know, you know. So again, like I say, I gotta grasp the bots. I gotta get their attention. And you know what? All the information that we shared today was a lot of good information, a lot of valid information. Y'all saw the maps, right? Tartaria is on there. Why is Tartaria not in our history? And I wanted to say that as a segue to this. You know why I believe we have Mandela effects and things like that? You know why we have 2020s and jabs and stuff like that? It's a live exercise. They're trying to see if we're consciously aware. No cap. And then they direct our consciousness to the point where we are subservient. That's why I always tell y'all to stay present. That's why I always say you're not thinking your own thoughts. That's why I say you question your own decisions. Question your own thoughts, please. Please, because only you know who you are. Only you. And only you lie to yourself to the way that you do lie to yourself. And you know you're lying. Be conscious, guys. Be present. Understand. Looking at all this stuff right now, tell me we don't feel like we're on a fast track to the next reset. Y'all remember the story of this black guy who came down and they chopped him up in a whole bunch of pieces, and no matter what they tried to do, he kept regenerating? And y'all know what I'm talking about if you know the story. And he went to the government and he said, listen, when I come back, and I'm coming back, I'm coming with a whole bunch of people that are like me. And it was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus. Aircraft, they tried to kill him. This is a conspiracy theory, but somebody knows what I'm talking about right now. I believe that time is going to come, and maybe sooner than later. And if, say for instance, I am right in what I'm saying, and you guys hear the 2030, the 2050 agendas and stuff like that. If I'm right, and we are missing 1,000 years, the 1,000-year rule of Jesus is over in the year 2033. Straight like that. I don't believe 297 years are missing. I believe 1,000. Everything is a lie. Everything. Tell me I'm bugging. Huh? You think it's a lie? I do, bro. I do. Now, I'm going to end this video. In this video, call it magic. I don't explain this video. And the reason I'm going to show you this video is because you guys know and understand the end game is this. Transhumanism. We have a symbiotic relationship with our phone. What if our relationship with our phone is more connected than we think? I'm going to show you this. And this is going to fuck your head up.
How long do you guys know each other?
74 people on TikTok. Let's go. We're going to do this every day, guys. Tomorrow I'll be here too. It's going to be lit. I got a lot of shit to show y'all. I've been going on 2 hours now.
Like this, I open yours like this. Watch, if I start to push yours together, you see yours start to move also. You feel that, yes?
Watch. Just watch. This is going to mess you up. Some of y'all seen this.
Okay, good. That's because now I have you guys connected. So look, Tony, put your phone here, camera, put your phone there.
Watch it. Wait till they take their phones out their pockets.
Y'all want to do that?
What? Yeah. You sure y'all want to do that? Sometimes knowledge is not power. Look, watch this. Their phones are unlocked. Not unlocked. They're locked.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
They touch each other and their phones are they're calling each other right now. Because they touched. They're calling each other. Now watch. It's on speakerphone. Watch what happens when they let go of their hands. And hung up the phone call. Now, can that be faked? Yes, but let's hypothetically speak and say that isn't fake, right? Again, I don't trust nothing. But say that is real. Say that's real. How did that guy control their phone? These are spectators, allegedly. You know? Maybe it's not playing. I don't know, but you've remotely called your boy, your brother, by touching his hand. Hey, all you iPhone people, y'all should do that. Hey, I'm just saying, if that can be tested in a real world thing, bro, let me throw this fucking phone. I'm telling you, bro, shit is ugly. I want to show y'all that. But guys, I'm getting off of here. I've been here longer than I normally. I'm usually an hour, but an hour and a half is good. It's not bad. It isn't. I got a lot of things to show you. If you haven't seen this, my link's in the bio. I showed a lot of information speaking about us missing 1,000 years. I showed a lot of information showing us buildings and the Tartarian Empire, on how it's not historically written that Tartaria even existed. So that right there, all in itself, should tell you something. When we cannot walk into our own national park and it is guarded by military occupation to withhold, damn I say, a portal in the Grand Canyon? What is going on? Why are the Egyptian hieroglyphics in the Grand Canyon? Hence why they used to say the one road to Egypt or to Africa is through the Grand Canyon. Understand that interpretation. Doesn't mean it's going south, but hey, at one time they also believe in Pangea, but that's a different conversation. Please go watch this video on YouTube. For all y'all that say, Flux, thank you for 3 galaxies, bro. Literally, thank you for that, bro. I don't have money to go buy a vape. I did all the trip monies for the trip. That's got sent to Stacy. Amanda, message me if you really want to go. You got a week, and it's going to be fun. It's in North Carolina. If you need to take a flight, that's other things. We will pick you up. Please let me know. Everyone who's going on that trip on June 26th, cannot wait to see y'all, man. For the people that paid, can't wait to see y'all, man. I love all of y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I mean that. There is no me without you. See me tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow, same time, for another hour, 2 hours, and let's get it. If y'all want to come up on here, I'll do that too. YouTube.